Hey guys, welcome to Desk Setup 2024. Take a look at all. Hey, should you really be making this video? What do you mean? I have to make one. It's 2024. I'm the desk guy. Yeah, but all you did was just move your PS5 to the corner. That was actually a hard choice. I'm just saying, dude, I think you might have to change things up. Okay. So I've been in a desk setup game for a minute now, and just in the last few years have I been starting to put together these desk setup videos, and I have to say that this year I really wanted to keep a lot of the things the same, and look how that worked out. There still ended up being a whole bunch of new changes that I want to share with you guys, but quickly let's go over the stuff that stayed behind. So first I want to start off by saying everything that I mentioned in today's video is going to have a link down in the description below, just in case if you need to do some shopping. But the first product to stay the same on my desk is my monitor, which is from LG. Specifically, it's the 38WN95C. It still works for me all these years later, especially it having 144 Hz. It makes it perfect for productivity and gaming, and paired with that widescreen capability, it makes it really comfortable in the productivity situations. The only problem I find is that I don't find gaming at a 21:9 aspect ratio to be as satisfying anymore. I don't know, I might have to look into something else soon. I also have the same PC as last year, which I still think is amazing even though everything inside is from last generation. It still plays every single modern game, maybe except Cyberpunk, perfectly. Although this year or next generation, I might have to upgrade some of these parts. Now, as you all know, I do run a PC and MacBook hybrid setup, and my M1 Max MacBook is still an extremely capable machine. It handles all my editing tasks flawlessly. The only one thing is, when I built this machine, I really wish I opted for a higher SSD storage. I do work off of really fast external SSD drives, but it's not the same as an onboard storage solution. I'll keep this in mind for the next MacBook. The Aeron chair from Herman Miller has been amazing. It's literally the perfect chair specs wise. Super expensive for sure, but I think I've gotten so much value out of it ever since getting it. The only thing is it does creak now, so I gotta figure out what's going on with that. And lastly, I've kept the main storage the same as last year. The IKEA drawer stores all of my camera gear and everything else I need to produce my videos. Above that, I have my pegboard, which has now become the home of all my new keyboards and headsets, but don't worry guys, I'm gonna cover this shortly. And lastly is my good old Alex drawer from IKEA, which has still been a solid storage solution for basically everything else. I'm satisfied by all of this furniture, but I'm always in the market to enhance anything I previously used, which is where the fun begins. So like I mentioned before, I still wanted to keep almost everything the same, but still a lot of stuff ended up changing, like the desk itself. I've already made a video for my new desk, so I'll go ahead and link that above. But in short, this is the FlexiSpot E5 desk. It has a pretty high weight capacity, as you can see from all the items on my desk, but by far my favorite feature is the collision detection, which thankfully has saved me a couple of times. And also the tabletop is pretty nice, but going with a solid wood option would probably be better. The good thing is you can put any tabletop on the legs so long as they support it. Maybe in the future I'll take my own advice and invest in a solid wood tabletop, but this is fine for now. One of the newest additions that really stands out are these wood panels. I got them off of Amazon and they're from a company called Art 3D. The wood pieces sadly are not actual walnut wood. I think they're actually stained, but hey, they were a whole lot cheaper than the competition, and in person the wood looks really good. And also the acoustic paneling on the back of the wood gives me a little bit of sound reduction from the overall room. Nothing wrong with a little wood accents to spice up your studio. Now let's talk about the lighting, which I think has to be the standout of this year's setup. So I still have my Philips Hue bulbs, the nano leaf elements, and the BenQ lights, but I've added a bunch of new lighting from another company, Govee, which has been one of my new favorite companies when it comes to studio lighting. Their lights don't flicker whenever I'm filming, and they're actually much more affordable than the competition. I was blessed to visit them over at CES, where they're coming out with a bunch of innovative stuff. And my additions to the setup are the Neon Rope Light 2 and also the Glide. And if you guys know anything about smart home products, the Rope Light 2 works with Matter, ladder so I can connect this to my HomeKit. They're just starting to roll out a bunch of this stuff. I mean, take a look at this new floor lamp that they released. It has crazy RGB lighting and also has a Bluetooth speaker. Yeah, I think it's safe to say that I've become a Govee fanboy now. But there is just one other lighting idea that I had. I really wanted to include a key light off to the side whenever I did any kind of webcam presentations. I was looking at the Elgato key light for a while, but I wasn't a fan that there weren't any physical buttons on it. That's why I opted for this Aputure P60X light. It has the physical buttons that I'm looking for. I can control it using an app, and also it's a legitimate studio light, which is important because I am looking for that soft lighting whenever I'm filming. Yeah, it's safe to say that I did take lighting very important this year. But another thing that I wanted to do was add my PS5 to my setup. I really wanted to create the ultimate gaming destination. And obviously I enjoy playing games on my PC first, but this PS5 is strictly for those exclusive games that I can only play on there. For now it's a solid solution, but I am kind of looking towards something else. The lighting this year, I really wanted to make a statement. I really wanted to fill up all the gaps that I left behind from last year's setup, but that's not the only big change because I did rearrange a lot of the stuff when it comes to my desk accessories. A lot of fine tuning and just switching stuff that didn't work for me. Let's go ahead and take a look at that now. The first additions I want to talk about are the below accessories. They completely innovated when it came to monitor stands. I already made a video covering all the accessories that I use at this setup, but in short, this is the desk cockpit. They also have different color options, and I of course opted in for the walnut wood. In this specific layout, I'm running the phone stand, the large tray, and I also have this little accessories tray tucked in the corner. But they have so many other accessories that could fit your needs, and in my opinion, the cost is definitely worth it. But these aren't the only desk accessories that I added this year. These next products are all from a company called Delta Hub. If you've seen this little product around, it's from them. This is called the Carpio. Specifically, this is the gaming version. And I also have their gaming mat, which combos super well with the Carpio. It's nice and slick, which is exactly what you need for gaming, and it also makes it easier for productivity tasks as well. But the accessory that rounds everything out is this to-do list. It comes with two white metal pads, and you can wipe it away, kind of like a dry erase board. It's pretty nifty when you have some reminders, or if you want to write a note to yourself for some inspiration. But yeah, all of these accessories in front of me come together to create the perfect system. So along with the desk accessories, a lot of my peripherals changed too. Keyboards, mice, gaming headsets. And did I mention keyboards? I switched out a lot of these peripherals throughout the year, so I want to go ahead and dedicate a whole entire segment to this. So let's go ahead and look at that now. So I have a selection of keyboards. If you guys have been following my channel, you'll know that I became a little bit of a keyboard enthusiast last year. From these sub $100 keyboards from Yunzi and Applemaker to the $600 one from Angry Meow. But this one from Keychron is just the one that I keep going back to, which is the Q3 Pro Special Edition. It has all the customizability that I need in a keyboard. From the knob, the macro keys, top function row. I mean, I even bought a new set of keycaps and I lubed like 100 switches. And trust me, that process was painful, but it all led to this one and done keyboard, something I can use for everything. Okay, enough about keyboards. Let's talk about the mice that I use. And being the extra boy that I am, I currently use two, one for productivity and one for gaming. And ironically, my productivity mouse is a gaming mouse, which is the Logitech G502X. This is a topic that I've covered before here on the channel, on why I prefer to use a gaming mouse for productivity purposes. In short, the sensitivity is better, the overall feel and longevity is better, and there are just many more reasons why I switched over from the MX Master 3S. The G502 has all the macro buttons that mouse has and more. The only thing I miss is the horizontal scroll wheel, but I've remedied that with the Apple Magic Trackpad. This option really works for me. And also take a look at this cool little stand I found on Amazon. Awesome stuff. Next, let's talk about my gaming mouse, the Razer Viper Mini Special Edition. I mean, what else can you say about a mouse that's so controversial? The cost is insane, but thankfully its features are great. You can get up to 4K polling with a receiver, and also with an update you can get up to 8K, which I don't know who needs that. Maybe someone who's willing to spend over $280 on a gaming mouse? But all jokes aside, this mouse I consider an end game mouse. It has all the top of the line tech as of making this video, and it feels great whenever I'm gaming on my PC. And honestly, as someone who's not a real multiplayer gamer, it feels really nice to use something more premium. So aside from a $280 mouse, let's let's talk about something that costs twice as much. It's headset time. So again, we have two categories, one for general usage and the others are for gaming. On my MacBook, I use the AirPods Max. I just love the way that they sound and the way that they work with the Apple ecosystem. I just wish they didn't cost so much, but here we are. And now onto the gaming headsets, which are the Beyerdynamic MMX200 for my PC, and for the PS5, I use the InZone H9. The reason I use two different headsets is that the InZone H9 is built for the PS5, so you have those really awesome integrations. And again, I already reviewed both of these headsets on this channel, so I'll be brief. But the Beyerdynamic headset sounds incredible whenever gaming on the PC. It sounds so good that I forget that it does not come with its own software. And its mic is one of the best, you know what? It is the best mic that I've ever heard on a gaming headset. And as for the InZone H9, I think it's the definitive headset for the PS5. It has all the integrated features, sounds pretty good, and you can customize it on its PC app. I just wish that it had more support on the PS5 itself. Okay, let's move on from these crazy expensive headsets and let's talk about what makes my desk work. So if my MacBook is the brains, these two docks are the heart of the setup. First, we'll talk about this dock from Ascrono. It houses my MacBook with these two Thunderbolt 4 ports. I just slide it in and it chains on over to the CalDigit TS4, which houses all of my peripherals. And without the TS4, none of this will be possible. It has all the ports that I need for everything, and I mean everything. It also lets me run my audio. For the mic, I have the Rode NT1 hooked up to my audio interface, the Focusrite Scarlett Solo 4th gen. It allows me to hide the audio cables much better since they run from the back now. It just leads to a cleaner desk, which really makes me happy. And last but not least, the most important addition to this setup, the Pokemon plushies. Nothing wrong with a Gengar and Snorlax watching over your desk setup. So new problems I came up with this year's setup, I think there's just a little bit too much going on in the background now. I'm not gonna lie, there are times where I am completely distracted by all the options in front of me. It's almost like I just made it too easy for myself. But all in all, you guys, everything is just as optimized as last year's setup. It's a pretty cool thing. Whenever I step into this room, it just kind of like takes me into a whole new world in the very best way possible. But for now, let's see what I can do about this PS5 over here. Maybe a new setup. Maybe next time. Watch last year's setup if you really want to see a huge change. But I want to thank you guys so much for watching today's video. This is David serving you a little side of tech, and I'll see you in the next video. God bless you guys.